Shift Community.
Welcome everyone to this wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I'm so freaking happy to be with all of you because I already saw that the chat is working. So without further ado, let me put that on display. Here we go. Show comments on stage. Tall and white. Yeah, baby. Gosh, that was so awkward last Wednesday when we had the community live, and the chat was pretty glitchy, and I didn't figure it out. Like, how long did it take me? 20 minutes or so? Because there were some comments, like 3, 4 or so. You know, Michelle came through, and I don't know. That mostly was it. So yeah, it was a weird moment, but I'm so happy being with all of you. Yeah, let me see who's here. And also, I guess we're gonna play some music. I did have one comment of mostly everyone is really happy with jazz, which is my preferred music. I really adore this type of music. Why, you're asking? Thank you for asking, because I deeply, first of all, I freaking love it, but also I adore the history behind that, which is basically people, mostly African American people, that came together and were just playing, and every instrument has their section. Everyone can shine. Jazz stands for like making the weirdest note fit in place. And I think that's the best allegory and the best metaphor for what the universe is doing. So yeah, I'm gonna play it, but I'm also very open for new types of music. So I'm just gonna start with some jazz hop and put it to a nice volume. And then let me say hello to you all, because I'm freaking happy it works. So hi, it's Sean from England, Norwich. So pleased to see you back again. Looking forward to listening to you all and your interesting discussions. And thank you all for what you do to the world. Thank you so much. We do have some guests also, which is, I'm very excited. So Vivian and Mark are here. I'm going to get you on the call in just a minute. Let me say hello to everyone here in the chat. And then Trini Mac, thank you so much for being here. The last All Shift Happily Now was the first one that I missed, so I'm glad to get to join this one. The way I can pretend that I have a perfect record. Yeah, this is like an exceptional one, so I guess you get like 1 extra point on your list. Michelle is here. Thank you so much for being here, Michelle. Voice visuals, freaking love that. Use all 7665. Good to see you. Andreas, so nice to see you. Yes, the chat is working. I'm testing, Nicholas is saying. Tim, can you see my comment? Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us. So many wonderful people. Paul, UFO Perencia, hi all. What are you using the chat for the chat now? This is StreamYard. This is an external software. This is so nice seeing you all. Hello from Colorado. Hi, Lena. Oh, Netherlands. Hello from Holland. Mikey is here. So cool. Amazing. I want to get some people on because I know that Vivian is here. Let me get the music a little bit less crazy into the foreground. And Vivian, I'm gonna get you on stage, so be prepared. There we have you. Can you hear me? Hi, Vivian. You're muted. Let me see if I can unmute you. You have to do that yourself. There's a little...
Okay.
Good to see you. Hi, Vivian.
Good to see you. I'm so happy. I love you. I love your jazz. I love the people on the screen here.
Oh, thank you so much. And we love you. Thank you so much for being with us. For everyone who doesn't know, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Central Coast of California, USA.
Ooh, that's probably
Yeah,
pretty nice to be at. What's the weather
it
like
is.
currently? Snow or warm?
We had snow one day. It was very strange. But it's pretty warm. It's like spring. We have flowers blooming.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that's also unusual for now.
Really?
We've been having unusual weather in the last few years. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that
We had
everyone
a
on
very
the
big
planet.
flood. We had a big flood that people got very close to where I live, that people got washed away.
What do you mean? Like
But
it entered like into the
their
mainland?
their car they tried to for some reason this is very wild area with a lot of cattle and cowboys and stuff, and there are roads that cross streams. I know that sounds crazy, but when it's not raining you can just go across, but when it's raining it floods and people try to go across and they get swept away. So
Oh
that's
my
what
gosh.
happened.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
but right now
Uh,
today is a very pretty sunny day.
Today's a sunny day. That's very very good. So for
Yes.
someone from Europe, you are like on the side where the coastline is, more to the north or more to the south, because California is freaking
We're
huge.
Central Coast, which is pretty close to Big Sur, Monterey. What else? Oh, I can't remember the names. Santa Cruz. It's
Ah,
really in the center
in the center of
of
California.
California,
Oh,
but
that's
close
so.
to the coast. Yes,
All the
but
good
I'm high
memories
up
of
in the
the
mountain.
Full House. Do you
Well,
know that
originally
90s
I'm
show?
from the '90s show Full House.
Yeah.
Is, yeah, I didn't watch it.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm older than you, so it wasn't for me
What
to watch.
how did your story of like realizing that the universe is more than the materialistic side and what the norm stream is saying? How did that unfold for you?
When I was a child, I was in a very unusual neighborhood. It was considered, and still is, the worst neighborhood in New York City of all the boroughs. And when I was walking down the street, I was afraid, but I felt that somebody was with me. I know that's going to sound a little crazy, but I felt that somebody was with me,
Not at all.
protecting me. And I believe that it was probably, I didn't think then it was, but I believe now that it was probably an angel or a guide or something that took care of me, and I never really had any problems where people were getting killed and hurt and things.
Yeah.
So
It can change these things so dramatically, right? Going into with the right mindset and the right energy into some of these suburbs is like it completely protects and changes the reality field.
it does. You can become invisible, not literally, but to other people you can become invisible. It's kind of weird.
Yes. That's actually,
So
no, it's
that's
actually
when I
very, very.
started. That's when I started, and then under the stress of being in that kind of environment, the psychic stuff started to come out. And so I would have knowings and dreams and visions and whatever.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's how
I
it
mean,
started.
well, that's a very nice story because it's a very positive story too. So that's adorable.
Yes, it
Vivian,
is.
yeah, Vivian, I'm so happy to see you and always in the community too. You're so lovely here. So thank you so much for being with us. I'm gonna get Mark on the call too. Feel free to hang out, or I'm gonna. There we go. Mark, good to see you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Where are
Hi.
you from?
I'm from Holland.
Oh, you're Dutch. Dus je
Yes,
spreekt
yes,
Nederlands.
yes.
Where from the Netherlands are you from? Northern
I'm
part?
from Brabant,
Oh, Brabant. Oh,
the
that's
province down.
oh nice. Yeah, I know that area very well. So that's a very nice spot to be in.
Yeah.
It's but I guess everyone else in the world has no idea where Brabant is.
No, I don't think they all know Amsterdam, of course, but the rest, yeah, it's a little not usual.
Do you encounter that? Do you encounter that when you're like outside in the world and you mention Amsterdam and people immediately know where it is and they have no idea about the rest?
Yeah. I once went in France on the Mont Ventoux, climbing with the bicycle, and we talk a guy from Germany, and that guy, yeah, he only knows Amsterdam. All the people only know Amsterdam, so it's
Wow, that's
yeah,
unusual. I think at least Germans should at least have awareness and knowledge about what's going on in the neighboring country, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So cool. I encountered that quite some time when I was like in either in Mexico or in Northern America or something, and I'm saying like I'm from Europe, and then they're like, "Ooh, Amsterdam." I'm like,
No,
China.
Germany.
Europe is centering around Paris and Amsterdam. That's kind of the feeling. How's it
Right.
with you? I mean, Amsterdam is at least 2 weeks ago was like super snowy, right? Like
Yeah. We got a lot of snow. In the south, we don't have a lot of snow, but in the north, it was really snowy. And yeah,
Wow. Yeah. It's a strange weather. It depends on where you are in the world right now. How did it go for you? Like Vivian was telling her story when she felt protected by the universe and made it through like a crazy suburb in New York. Do you
yeah,
have like a story like that too?
yeah. For me, it was a little bit intense, more intense. Yeah, more intense. It was an intense process. I did like 20 mushroom trips in 1 year. So
Wow.
my perspective of the reality changed a lot then. So then, yeah, the whole process started doing crystals, and yeah, really my awakening started then.
In the Netherlands, for people who don't know that, mushrooms have quite a tolerant position. People can, it's in like a kind of a gray zone, but you can actually legally get these things, and you're free to experiment with them, right?
Yeah, you can go to a smart shop, and then they have all sort of things. But yeah, I only did the natural mushrooms. So it was really a big eye opener for me, and then the whole process started. Yeah, so that was my awakening. The first part of my awakening. So that was something like I think 10 years ago. From 10 years ago it was.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's fascinating. A lot of people have, similar experiences, and I think mushrooms really do a good job on the planet. I actually talked to Alex Gray, who's like, the artist who's right. He's painting
Yes, yes.
these freaking amazing things, mostly based, I think, about on like ayahuasca and DMT experiences. But he was very strong on the mushroom being like one of the teachers, saying like
Yeah.
we're all mushrooms. I think we're all mushrooms, and I think he's right.
Yeah. From then I really went into the water part. So that's why I posted on the Wheel of Hop the water yeah, first part of the audio book. So yeah, the water is great for a spiritual bridge between the quantum field and the daily reality. So that is my thing. What I'm doing right now. I just write my book, and yeah, I need a publisher.
First of all, thank you so much for everyone who's currently watching. Mark was so nice and put a part of your book, right? It's not the full version yet, but and you're writing it. But you put like a really nice part of it onto the We Love Hub, and people got to read it. And it's about the intelligence of water, right?
Yes. And water holds memory. You can download. You can use like symbols for programming the water. You can also use the crystals or other things for programming water, and then the water stores in the energy stores in the water, and then you can download. You can drink it, and you can make a bridge between the quantum field and your physical body. With the law of attraction, you can attract by drinking healing water, and you can attract the things that you want in your life. So you can grow your own garden then to put it in your terms. Yeah.
I love that. I freaking love it, and it's so true. I think it's one of the most interesting substances in the world. I'm beyond excited every time that I see water and when I see the little waves inside, because they resemble what the universe is doing on a quantum level, or at least in the electromagnetic field, right?
Yes.
Very interesting that you look into that. Have you experimented with these things yourself?
Yes, yes. I'm doing the water healing for only myself now, about 3 years, and it really shifted my reality. So in my book, I talk about one of the sentences in the foreword is the best things in life are free, and I think it really is like that. So. You don't need to go to an expensive healer for expensive thing. You can heal yourself, and you can use the water to program it, and you can help yourself to go, to uplift yourself.
I love that so much. Have you tried, because there's new studies quite famously, I'm not sure about the name, maybe you know or someone in the chat knows. There's this person who's freezing water, and then actually inside of the frozen water they have patterns, almost like, well, they are communication signals. Have you tried that yourself?
Yeah, no, I didn't do it, but I studied his material. It's from Dr. Emoto, a Japanese researcher. He's really great at those things. But in the mainstream, they couldn't rectify his research because, obviously the observer effect in the quantum field. You couldn't get the same results, so it's very hard to break through in the mainstream. But in the spiritual community, he's really big, really famous for his work. And you have also Dr. Luc Montagnier, and that's a Nobel Prize winner. He's passed a few years ago. But what he's done, you have two test tubes with water. One contains DNA, and one contains nothing. And he sends the low frequencies with the Schumann resonance at the both tubes, and they are literally growing in the other tube DNA, the same DNA as the other tube. So by the quantum field, so you can literally transport DNA with the quantum field. So it's really big discoveries.
Oh, that's amazing! I didn't know that one. I just want to the one that I was talking about. Leanne has that. Veda Austin. I actually talked to her. She's both of them. Like Miyamoto was featured by or supported by Gaia, and Veda Austin is she's the one who's currently like freezing water and then doing analysis of the pictures. Very fascinating work too. Mark, this is so cool. Thank you so much for being here on the call, and even more, thank you so much for publishing parts of your book already on the We Love Hub. So everyone who likes to check that out. We have a lot more comments and posts and contributions over your post, but there's a search function. Just type in what's the title of your book? So I think you have that in the description too, right?
Yeah, my title is Water. The Gate to Quantum Consciousness, Droplets of Water.
Wow. Okay. So if you type that into the We Live Hub, you will find your manuscript of the book. And yeah, everyone feel free. And if you're grateful and you had a good time, then say hi to Mark, because I am very grateful. I found that very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Mark. And groetjes naar Holland.
Ja,
Nederland.
goed. Goed. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh, that was so nice. I missed some of your comments, everyone. I can't tell you how happy I am that this chat is working. That is so much better today. It is so much better. Let me get the music a little bit louder, because it's nice. Because it's nice. So let me read some of you. So many wonderful comments. Anna's here from South Florida. Oye 8995. Grüße dich, Tim. Which means, just sending a salute. Patrick is here. Good to see you, by the way. Unstoppable 888. Good to see you. What are your thoughts about disclosure that Donald Trump has initiated? We talked about that on Wednesday a little bit. I think if you compare the way that these news are being anchored into the public, then usually the first moment of announcing that is always the most important thing. After that, usually there comes like a disclosure or like a publication of hundreds of pages. And inside of these hundreds of pages is not so much content. But this moment of announcing that to the public, that is very, very significant. Let me get that a little less loud. Lisa, good to see you. I don't know, Lisa, if you have checked out the Wednesday live, because I called you out. I told a story about Italy. I might tell it again in just a little bit, because I saw your message on somewhere and I couldn't answer. Mimi 9616. Hi, good to see you, Mimi. Where are you from? Patrick, Vivian, do you surf? That feels like I should have not read that publicly, but here we are. Greetings from Sweden. Pia is here with us. Hi from Portugal. Hi, Margarida. That is so cool. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where in Portugal are you? Unveil the Truth. She's also from... Well, I actually don't know if it's a she or a he. Well, you got to tell us. But I know that you're from Sweden. Well, also because you told us. Liquid consciousness itself. We are mostly water. Yeah, that is so true. Cora is asking, what's your book called? Just use, I think droplets would be like a good word to put into the We Love Hub, and then you find it. For everyone who is joining us randomly, here is the link. I trust you with this link, so click on it if you like. Void Visuals is saying, thank you, Mark. Now I have a better association with your post on the hub. I agree. I'm so happy that we actually have these recommendations, and that we right away in the testing phase. I mean, we're still in the growing phase, very much so. And all these mails, we get a lot of mails, which is amazing, about new features. And I know the edit button is probably the most requested thing in the world, for whatever reason. And every time I'm thinking like, isn't edit button really that important? I'm texting something, make a typo and think like, yeah, I think we should have an edit button. Margarita is in Lisbon. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for tuning in. Luis Bautista is here. Interesting name. I wonder where you're from. Hello, Tim. Hello, everyone. Happy everybody. Happy to be here. Happy to have you. Droplets of light. Water, the gate to quantum consciousness. Halilone is saying, "Hey Tim, have you been to Turkey and have you seen Göbekli Tepe?" I think that is the worst Turkish accent ever. Yes, we have been to Turkey, very relevant area, and also quite recently. I flew there with Sarah Zula, and we did some filming all around the area. What used to be Troy. The reason for that is because there's a really interesting human history that comes from the ancient Egyptian part of the world, and kind of like traveled northwards through Turkey and then into Greece, building what was called the Hellenistic Empire, or the Hellenistic civilization, let's call it that way. Helionos is directly connected to the idea of ancient Egypt, which is directly connected to some non-terrestrial intelligences that were basically telling humanity at that time, we are all the electromagnetic wave. They called it sunlight. Anna from our Agora session, also I have to quickly look, because right after this we do have Agora. If you don't know what Agora is, that's basically a wisdom temple. Also very, very soon fully anchored into the We Love Hub, which I'm excited about. So the story is that basically thousands of years ago, these beings came to ancient Egypt, telling people through hybrids that they are all part of this electromagnetic wave, calling it the sunlight, right? The god of the sun disk as the representation of God, which later was, like kind of like put into this monotheistic idea of like, God being the sun. But the reality of what they were actually telling us is we are the sun. We are actually the sun, perceiving us through the electromagnetic wave. And that has created the idea of Athena, which the statue is a little bit out of frame right now, but that is something that I'm very, very much inspired by as well. And this idea was then, had a troublesome time in ancient Egypt. And there's a reason why now ancient Egypt is kind of a desert. Did you, by the way, know that ancient Egypt was very Mediterranean and lush and green about 12,000 to 20,000 years ago? I had a discussion with Sarah about that, because I was like, I wonder if people realize that, because Egypt is now associated with this large pile of sand. But essentially this idea went northwards through Turkey and then into what is now called, ancient Greece. Ancient Greece has never been ancient Greece. Ancient Greece was a selection of many, many tribes that had their little polis, which was their city-states. But all of them were united by this one thought of, we are Hellenistic. We are like, we come from the sunlight. We are the children of light, so to speak. There are actually some ETs out there that are using this name for themselves, for example. So there's quite some quite some stuff going on. So yes, but I've never been to Göbekli Tepe. I think that was a bit better. Still not a great Turkish accent. Are you Turkish? You wrote in German, so you might be Turkish. Who knows? Let me know. Luis is from Bogota, Colombia. That's so cool. That is so cool. Trinity is saying it was green even much later. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sue Langsland is saying archaeologists have discovered numerous ancient ships and boats buried in the Egyptian desert. That is freaking amazing if you think about that, right? If you think about the whole story, you know, there's a lot of like question marks. People, and the thing is, most people don't even think about these things anymore. If you talk to, you know, random people on the streets, they won't know. But even people that are kind of like into that history, it has been so. Let me quickly change that jazz tune because she was singing it in the background so much. A lot of people don't fully realize what is actually going on in that. Oh, that's Alex. Thank you so much. Hi, Alex. Good to see you. Alex, if you don't know Alex, he's been on the community live once too. By the way, Alex, if you go to the We Love Hub, there is a link. If you'd like to come onto the call, just click on the link, and I'm happy to talk to you directly. But Alex is a phenomenal artist, and he's doing amazing artworks. And he gifted one to gosh, what is his name? Forbidden Knowledge, Billy Carson. Yeah, and to me, so I'm very, very honored and very happy about that. And yeah, I'm 100% happy to receive that. So shout out to all these artists out there. I'm beyond excited that, you know, we all have found a way to be here together. Greg Braden, but also Billy Carson, right, Alex? Did you say Billy Carson too? Nadine has entered the studio. She's not connected yet, but if that works, I'm very, very happy. For everyone who doesn't know, on the We Love Hub, I posted the open link for this live stream. I don't do it on the public side of internet, but if you like to, just click on the link and then come and join Mark, Vivian, me, and Nadine once she figured it out. Lorene is saying, this is Lorene, right? Free from illusions. I'm getting so confused oftentimes with all your nicknames. Is that why being out in the sun can stabilize frequency? We're essentially accessing more parts of ourselves through the veil. Yeah, there's a lot to that. If you think about it, the number one source of consciousness and the number one source of energy, not really the source of energy, because energy doesn't have a source. Energy is everywhere and everything is energy. But the sun is basically the portal that brings in the energy into our lives. And light is a carrier of information. This is the reason why you can look at me, right? That's the reason for that. You know, we use light in order to bring information from one point to another point. Travels very fast in a light-based universe. Through the idea of Einstein, basically the fastest thing, which is kind of disproven, faster things than light, but ultimately, very fast anyway. So ultimately, yes, if you're looking and connecting to the sun, all these information that are coming from the sun, the energy plus information sourced by the sun, integrates in your body, and it's fascinating. Whoever had like a freaking plant and placed it into an area, Portugal is a very nice area to put a plant somewhere, because that is going to grow exponentially more than under a an LED light or something. And you can't really explain that, because the sun really likes to enjoy that over artificial light. But there's way more to that. So ultimately, yeah, the sun is a repairing energy. I would love to get Nadine in the studio, but it says device is not connected. You need to connect your microphone or camera before you can be added to the stream. That is what it's saying. I don't know. But we do have Pia here, and I'm very, very excited to have her. Let me get the get the jazz music a little less crazy, maybe even putting on something more calm, and get Pia on. Pia, so nice to meet you. Oh, you're muted. You just have to unmute yourself. There's the little microphone button that you have to. Yes, there we go.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you doing? And how's the weather wherever you are?
It's finally spring. We've had a really, really snowy winter, and now the spring is here.
Are you in central US?
No, I am American, but I live in Sweden. I was the one living in Malmö, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Your accent totally tricked me into believing that you're from the US.
Yeah. Oh, I'm American.
How did it come? Like, why did you choose Sweden to be your place of residence?
My mother was Swedish. My father was American. He was a foreign correspondent. So I grew up in France and Belgium, in Brabant.
That explains why you speak French.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much for being with us. You're such a delight every time that we see you on the lives.
This is a great forum. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. We love you too, very, very much. How did it start? Where do we go? I'm very interested to learn how you went from Sweden to France, then to the US, and then back to Sweden. That seems like more countries than usual people will ever experience in their life.
I've moved 40 times in my life.
You moved 40 times in your life?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, oh my gosh.
My father moved a lot, so we just followed him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And how did because I moved recently too, and for me it's a very interesting process, because suddenly you filter all these things that you're culturally non-aware of when you're spending all your life in just one country. How's that for you, for someone who moved 40 times?
Well, I've never spent that much time in one country. It's been, so I feel like a chameleon. Yeah.
I've heard that before. In a different context, though.
But you're always a foreigner.
Okay, so you feel like you're kind of like more of a visitor in all these countries.
Yeah, although I've been living in Sweden since I was 26 years old. I've been here a long time. But
so your Swedish is on point then, I guess.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, for me it was really interesting to notice these things, because ultimately, you know, traveling to all these different cultures showed me how much the indoctrination of the cultural part of Germany takes over people quite a lot. You know, it's funny. It's like these minor things, looking at someone and saying like, "Oh, this is not the way you should be parking," and then, you know, realizing, "Oh, wait, that's." I'm not in Germany anymore. We don't do this.
Where are you living now? Where are you now?
Right.
Where are you living now?
Oh, I'm on a island western from Africa right now. So I moved away from. There's like some minor island groups around the island of the area of Morocco. And that's where I am. So it's a completely different cultural world that I'm now experiencing.
Azor, what do you call those?
Yeah. Quite in that type of area. There are many smaller islands, and that's exactly where I moved into. And it's really interesting because Germany has like a very straightforward way of thinking about certain things, and island life is quite different. So I can actually recommend that to everyone to just sometimes change where you're living just to see something else, right?
It's fun. it's fun. I love it.
What country would you say is the one country that people should visit? Is it Sweden? Is it France?
It's France.
Is it France? Okay.
It's a pretty
the south, or more like the urban Parisian area?
the whole. It's a beautiful country. It's just big, and it's just don't take the trains because.
Same is true for Germany. Don't take the trains in Germany either.
Communications are just terrible because everything is concentrated on Paris. So it's like Paris is the hub and the trains go, but everything that's in between, you just have to have a car.
You have to have a car, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And also, like all the highways are also kind of centered into Paris, which is kind of unusual for Europe. I don't think we have that with any other city in that extreme way. It's kind of crazy.
It's pretty terrible. But if you have a car, it's a beautiful place. It's worth.
It's a beautiful.
Yeah.
I have studied in Toulouse, and it's for me the better Paris. I know if there is anyone from Paris out there, please apologies. But for me, the south of France is just a beautiful area.
It's a beautiful. Well, and Paris is nice too, but I mean, just to visit is nice.
And try some fleur de courgette. That's a pretty good dish to have in France, right?
Yeah.
You had that too?
Fleur de courgette.
Right?
Right.
Pia, thank you so much for being here, being with us. Every time we see your name, everyone's so enlightened and happy to see you. So
being here.
yeah, thank you so much.
See you.
What's that? See you very soon. I think we have a little bit of a time lag, but that's all good. Nadine, I still would love to get you on the stage, but it's I can't. I can't click you. Margarita is saying, Tim, why did you leave the USA? It's kind of funny because I never lived in the US. I was only there for for visitations and everything. Sometimes people think that. So I left Germany due to a variety of reasons, mostly to because I can and to experience something new, and I'm quite happy. The only thing that I'm deeply missing is the German bread. It's really good, and I feel like that's the reason why I even came to Germany in the first place, to be very honest. My name's Jude. Hi, Jude. Good to meet you. Trevor is with us. Thank you so much. Hi there from Melbourne, Australia. Had some tech issues resolved now. So great to be here live with you all. Good to see you, and thank you so much for tuning in. It should be like 7:30 a.m. in the morning, so good morning, and thank you so much for the contribution and the commitment to be up here that early. Wonderful. My wife loves southern France, Patrick is saying. I mean, come on, who doesn't? It's so nice. Love to join in the conversation. Jude, well, if you like to just oh, you are. Well, you know what? As requested, so received. Jude, good to meet you. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh, wow. I'm so happy to be here, Tim, and to the team. Thank you so much. Yes.
Oh, you have a lovely accent. I love that.
Oh, that's so funny to me because, yeah, to me, you are the one with the accent.
I really have an accent. I believe that too. You're from Melbourne, Australia. How is the weather? You guys should have summer.
Oh, it changes. I mean, Melbourne, Australia is renowned for having 5 seasons, well, 4 in one day. And so, yeah, it's impossible to know. It is it's becoming more and more sort of subtropical here, but
Really?
you really have to be prepared for everything here. Yeah, most
So
definitely.
you see, like, change in the weather that is going towards more of a subtropical climate?
Yeah, absolutely. I really do think that even though I'm in the south of Australia, it's actually becoming more and more tropical. And I mean, the weather patterns, we have flooding, we have fires, it's so erratic, and as we know, I mean, I think it's possibly part of a bigger agenda for all sorts of reasons, land clearing. And there's thoughts that even the fires that came up the east coast of Australia had something to do with them wanting to build a railway all through that
Oh,
area, so
oh my,
that these 15-minute cities, which I'm sure you may be familiar with,
yeah,
herding, people away from nature.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
so
see. Weather phenomena also very, very strongly react towards the consciousness too. And I feel, the planet currently is in such a phase of, where to go. And we've heard that before, that we have like these multiple timelines and different parallel planets and so on. And the weather is quite strongly reflecting that. That's what I've seen from everyone talking about the weather here in that way.
yes, especially understanding what's happening with the inner earth as well, just how that's reflected in the consciousness and the volcanic experience. But yeah, I've seen all of your episodes, on cosmic disclosure and
Thank
part
you
of
so much.
Emery's. Yeah,
Thank
and
you so much.
so I think it's fantastic what you're doing. But I've had a lot of experiences to do with NDEs and out of body experiences and lots of things since I'm from a baby, actually. So
Ooh. So
yeah.
you do that actively? Are you doing these out of body experiences as like part of a practice, or is it just something that happens to you?
Well, it's things that have been happening to me. So I guess that's what's been a big part of my spiritual journey, is just having a lot of experiences of the oneness since I was a baby, basically. And so for me, it's been very important for me then I've gone on to learn things about why, and how the nature of consciousness and reality. So I've always been drawn to knowing about the oneness since I drowned when I was a baby, actually, when I was 18 months old. And that was my first oneness experience. Yeah.
What do you mean you
So
drowned? Apparently not. Luckily not.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, fortunately. When I say drowned, my mother was taking me around the perimeter of a pool, and she slipped and I fell under the water, and she couldn't get underneath me, lost her footing. And so anyway, I slipped into the oneness of knowing from under the water. I could see, feel, and know what everyone was experiencing, including my mother's fear. But also I saw, when I say saw, I think you understand what I mean,
Yeah.
from the totality of consciousness. So I kind of surrendered and was able to feel it and see and know everything, and saw that the person by the pool was sprung up to attention and took 2 heroic leaps into the pool and came and got me out. But for those moments and those seconds, it's very vivid. It's like it's still extremely vivid to me, that experience. And so that was the first experience that I had.
Did you feel like comforted in that moment? Was it yeah? Because a lot of people feel that. A lot of people are like, the whole scene is suddenly kind of like making sense, but there's like almost a divine energy that's holding it in a way. Did you feel that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the fear, the terror of not being able to breathe, but then instantly the snap of knowing everything. And even still now, I can feel my mother's terror, which is a terrible thing for a mother to think a child's about to drown or is drowning. But it's not traumatic in the sense that you understand from the oneness, things make sense. You understand. Right. But so I think I've and then when I was about 3.5 years old, through trauma, which is not traumatic now, but just where I had a parent who was about to take their life, actually, and I understand. Yeah, it's quite a heavy situation. It's not heavy to me now because I understand, but I was able to see, feel, and know what was happening in the next room. So
Wow.
It's funny because even as a 3.5-year-old, I thought, oh no, he won't actually do it. He's just doing it for attention, which is funny for a 3.5-year-old.
It didn't actually happen. It was on the brink of it, and it turned out to be a happy ending.
Yes,
Okay.
happy ending,
Good.
happy ending. But again, yes, happy ending. Yeah. So, but all of these experiences have led me to research and understand about the oneness, and feel as though it's a consciousness. It's a consciousness evolutionary purpose, and that these experiences, I think, have happened so that it's given me a purpose, a mission to be really drawn to these types of groups that understand what it actually feels like, because it's very hard. It's, like it's the butterfly, the cocoon becoming the butterfly hat. You don't know. We have these magical cells, but we don't know. So it's a feeling and a sensation, and so it's a creative expression, So but I also wonder, I've experienced other things, and I wonder if you wondered, for your opinion, what you think about. I have witnessed ships, seen ships and things. So I wonder if you think that maybe when you open your mind, your perception, when your mind is open, maybe from an early age, whether it also enables you to
see these things?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wonder what your thoughts are about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, because ultimately people on this planet that are, at least trying to look for extraterrestrial life and so on, they have their methods to, where to look and so on. But in reality, the universe has these multiple infinite perspectives and dimensions. So if you just change a little bit of your perspective, suddenly other forms of life, or even crafts that are kind of like covered by the geometry of how the light actually works, suddenly you can see these things that others wouldn't. It's not that they would not see them, but they would be distracted of, like, you could point that, them at that, but if they're not ready, they would just kind of stare through it in a way. So 100%. And the more you open that, the more things you're going to see. I have a friend who's taking photos randomly, and each time he's taking a photo, he always has a craft inside of his photography. It's crazy. He's just taking a photo of an empty space, and then there's suddenly a craft sitting, and then it's like, Tim, how? There was no craft when I was looking at it. These things happen. Very,
although
very
it is interesting. I had I was in the bush with friends around a campfire once, and
that's such an Australian thing to say. I was in the bush with my friends. I love that.
And I took a moment away from the group, and I was going through a bit of a hard time at the time, and I said, looked up at the sky, and I said, universe, I don't really need a sign. I know that it's all, you're looking out for me, and everything's as it should be. But if you could just show me something, and then I see a very bright an explosion in the sky.
Wow.
And then what came off at a perpendicular angle, and then all of a sudden took a right angle, a smaller light, and then I saw a second one come off from the explosion, and then take a right angle down. And I thought, thanks. That's a really good sign. That's quite
amazing.
impressive. And then I went back to the group, and this is just, I think, to give you an indication of the enormity of the explosion. But I was looking up at it, obviously. I went back to the group, and my friends around the fire had these stunned expressions on their faces, and they said to me, "Did you see that?"
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I said, "What did you see?" And they said, "Oh, the ground lit up." So what they were doing, all they noticed with their focus around the fire, was that
They
the
were staring at
ground, they
Oh,
noticed that the ground had lit. They thought, wow, the ground, what the ground. They weren't thinking, because it was such a bright thing for them. All they would do is looking down. They didn't see what I saw looking up, asking for the sign.
oh, this is
And so,
exactly what we were talking about. Wow, interesting.
yeah. So it sort of, I thought, wow, because that explosion seemed a long way away to me in the sky, but for them to have seen it that way, I thought the size of whatever that was that exploded must have been so enormous that, yeah. So what are your thoughts about that?
Oh, well, my immediate thought was like, wow, Jude has like a good way to communicate with her universe. And that's amazing. That's something to be really proud of. These things sometimes are effects of our own consciousness. I do, for example, remember, was it last year, the year before? Wow, it's almost 2 years. No, not quite. 1 year ago, when we did the conference in Germany. So we were in Germany. It was a smaller group, and we were outside, and I was telling this story about how like a blue kind of like a laser type of blue light was appearing in the sky. So I was telling these people the story that at one point we were talking about this blue light in the sky, and then it just appeared. And while I was talking, I was like, energetically pointing up just to make a point, and said like, and then there was a blue light, and I pointed up. In that very moment, there was like this blue light all over the freaking sky, and these people looked at me like I was the magician, and I was like, yeah, this is how consciousness communicates with the universe. It's a really fascinating thing. And it's interestingly enough, I think yesterday they announced news that I think it was Vance, the US politician, and he was saying right now they're investigating, as if we haven't done that for years. Investigating that some of the UFOs might be psychic phenomena and like spirits and communications of the universe. And that is in a lot of cases that is very true. Many people that see these lights, especially lights, but also craft, sometimes there isn't always like a person sitting in there doing this. It is more oneself that is projecting and seeing these things because it's possible for us, and it's part of the communication that we have with the universe.
Oh, that just made me click to me to think at that moment in time when my soul needed confirmation of a higher force looking out for me. Yeah. I kind of manifested this magnificent thing.
Yeah, and I think that's very important, Jude, that you say that, because oftentimes humans have this tendency to think of like something outside, right? But ultimately, it's you communicating with the universe. It's us communicating with ourselves.
Yes,
and that changes the power dynamic quite a lot, because suddenly there is no real power anymore, because everything is the same source of action anyway.
It's true. It's true. I've witnessed miraculous healing in that way too. So wow. Yeah. I had sorry.
No, go ahead. It seems like tell that story.
I for the first 35 years of my life, I was covered in a skin disease, from the top of my head to my toes. completely disfiguring skin disease, which a lot of people find hard to believe now when they look at my skin, because they tell me, oh, you have such a lovely skin. So just to illustrate the point. And I did figure out how to heal it by looking at it from a metaphysical level, a mental, emotional, spiritual, environmental, all the levels. And I healed it to a certain extent. But I took a homeopathic, and I kind of did what I think my body proved the remedy, which meant that I had this enormous flare up of this. It's all over my body. And I was at a festival, and I took a little special magic, a mushroom chocolate piece. So I entered a state, and I was told to go and lie. I was drawn to this tree, and I was told to go and lie with my head at the base of the tree and lie. Wow. Yeah, lie on my back with my head facing the bottom of the tree. And I've heard in Indigenous cultures, actually, that trees, Australian Indigenous Aboriginal cultures, that trees have their antennae, and they connect with, So I started to experience this just divine presence and beings that were speaking, communicating with me, and they were beaming love to me in a way that it was incredibly, almost overwhelming. And I kept saying to them, and I felt as though I was being a conduit, some sort of conduit to bring this love in the middle of this festival. And they were filling me more and more, and I kept saying, it's okay, more and more. And they said to me, you'll explode, you'll physically. I said, no, more and more. But what they very systematically then started to cleanse through my auric fields, through, it's like a tick, I could feel this sensation. And then one more in the mental, the etheric, all the etheric, very systematically cleansing through all my fields. And then once this experience, we were done, I stood up, and my girlfriend just walked over to me, who gave me the chocolate, and she just looked at me and said, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, nice.
Not knowing anything of what had happened, which was incredible. It was timing and synchronicity. But the next day, people came up to me at the festival and said to me, what happened, strangers? What happened to your skin? It's completely healed.
Wow.
So, I just thought.
Oh, that's a lovely That's an amazing story. Thank you so much, Jude, for being here on the live, because that's such a confirmation for so many people to hear these things. It's always about confirmation moments, because these moments that has helped you reach the level where you healed, and you telling that story to other people will influence them to see that and do that for themselves as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the space to be here and to share my stories. Thanks so much, Tim. I love everything you do. And the community. Thank you so much.
And thank you for being awake, because it's probably 8 a.m. in the morning. So Jude was with us. Such a nice story. Thank you all so much. Oh my gosh, it's already 1 hour in. And I had a lot of fun, to be very honest. That was really nice. I do have to rush, because I do have another date with everyone who's in the Agora community. Alex, I was so hoping that you would come on the live too. I'm gonna send you the banner and everyone else. Here it is. That's the QR code. If you put out your phone and scan that QR code, it's going to take you to the welovehub.com, which is our social media board, but it's also but it's also going to be the place where very soon, in just a couple of days, we're going to launch the Star Tactics Academy, which is in 2.0. It's so much better than ever before. We really worked on something unique, astonishing, actually, to create psychic effects in your life. So if you liked all these experiences and you want to try that with yourself, even if you're not using mushrooms, use some mental exercises, because all these effects, the mushroom is only the accelerator, right? It's only the logic that we put into. Mark and Jude had amazing experiences with that. So did Alex Gray, and you know, it's a lovely, lovely entity that helps so many humans. But ultimately, you know, we can change realities, our own realities, with our minds to 100%, to a full degree. And I'm very committed to bring that to all of you, so you can do some mental exercises on Star. So it's very, very much coming very soon. For everyone who's in the Agora community, I'm going to see you in about 30 minutes in the other studio. And for everyone who made it onto the call, Pia, Vivian, Mark, Jude, almost Natalia, Nadina, I mean, thank you all so much. It's so lovely to see you and to, you know, see some faces through the lovely comments and lovely beings and souls that we have in our community. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy building this with all of you. Please feel loved and happy shifting, everyone.